Hello everyone, my name is Laura, and today I'm going to present you my research paper, exploring self-regulated learning strategies for vocabulary learning among junior TFL students. Here's the outline of my presentation. First of all, I will start with the purpose of the research, then research questions, significance of the study, literature review, methodology part, instruments, findings, limitations, and conclusion. So let's start. The aim of the study is to identify the use of self-regulated learning strategies, especially cognitive and metacognitive strategies of junior TFL students and their motivational beliefs regarding vocabulary learning. Here are my research questions. The first one, what are the cognitive and metacognitive vocabulary learning strategies used by junior TFL students in vocabulary learning? And the second one, what are the junior TFL students' motivational beliefs in vocabulary learning? Now let's talk about the significance of the study. In order to acquire language, learners need to face a foreign language in an everyday settings. But it is quite impossible, right? Because of the classroom hours that are only several times per week. Accordingly, learners need to take responsibility for their own learning outside of the classroom as well, and effectively control their learning behavior. So this study helps learners to be aware of their cognitive strategies, metacognitive strategies, and motivational beliefs for vocabulary learning, and to think about their strengths and weaknesses in using those strategies. Secondly, it helps learners to understand the importance of self-regulated learning strategies for vocabulary learning. According to Zimmerman's definition, self-regulation refers to the self-directive process through which learners transform their mental abilities into task-related skills. So self-regulated learning is a goal-directed strategic action that is guided by motivation and metacognition. This is considered a process when a person takes control of his or her learning and evaluates it. Self-regulated learning strategies is a composition of elements such as cognition, metacognition, and motivation. The part of cognition is linked to the abilities necessary for memorizing, remembering, encoding information, as well as critical thinking. The skills which help students to understand and track their cognitive processes are part of metacognition. According to Walters and Rosenthal, in the learning process, motivation relates to the powers stimulating learners to involve in an assignment or to follow the goal, and it is a cause for which learners work to achieve the desired target. To gather the necessary data to this study, the mixed method approach that involves both qualitative and quantitative approaches was used. 27 junior 2 foreign languages department students from Süleyman Demirel University, where English language is the medium of instruction, were engaged in this research. Also, participation in this study was voluntary based. Now let's look at the instruments. Here, as you can see, the Likert scale questionnaire was used as a part of quantitative data collection. The questionnaire was created in Google Forms and consisted of 23 statements. The first 12 statements were focused on cognitive strategies, and other 11 statements were focused on students' motivational beliefs. It was found out that junior TFL students mostly use cognitive strategies such as association, guessing the meaning from the context, note-taking, oral repetition, visual repetition, and using mobile applications to learn the new words. And most of them know what they want to achieve in learning specific vocabularies, are ready to solve any difficulties on the way to reach their goals, and believe in themselves and in that they can achieve those goals more quickly than expected. Also know the importance of their vocabulary learning. Now let's look at the second instrument. To identify students' metacognitive strategies were held several interviews with volunteer participants as part of qualitative data collection. The interview was taken through the audio recordings in WhatsApp application. Then audio recordings were transcribed into the Word document. The interview had 6 semi-structured questions. You can look at them. According to the results of the interview, it can be seen that there is a lack of skills and knowledge in learning vocabulary of students. Only 2 participants said that they do plan their vocabulary learning. Most probably it means that the rest students are not aware of how to plan their learning process. However, most of them control and monitor their learning process, and they have enough awareness in evaluating their vocabulary learning and using strategies. The main limitation while conducting this research was the current situation in Kazakhstan. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has spread around the world, Kazakhstan is in quarantine, and this was reflected in the conduct of the study. In order to interview someone, the researcher needs to meet him or her face to face. However, the researcher couldn't do this because throughout the quarantine, anyone cannot go anywhere. So the researcher had no choice but to take an interview online. To sum up, I want to say that all the results and findings illustrate the significant conclusions. First of all, the use of cognitive strategies is not lacking in variety. The students use different types of strategies to learn vocabulary. Secondly, the students, however, do not use enough metacognitive strategies. It can be because of the lack of knowledge about those strategies. Thirdly, the students have a high level of motivational beliefs. So the study findings suggest that the students need to give more attention to their metacognitive strategies, such as planning and setting goals, monitoring the process, and self-evaluation, and also suggests to develop cognitive strategies and motivational beliefs as well. So that's all for today. So if you have questions, you can ask them under the video. So bye.